who's got the advantage inside here? Everybody talks about Mark Williams, but I mean, I'm not sure there's been a better big man in March than Armando Beckham. Even though I did watch Williams in some of their regional games, he was pretty amazing. So, who's got that advantage here, Sherelle?
I'd probably lean North Carolina just because Armando Beckham has, as you said, had such a successful year. But I think Mark Williams is as important as Armando Beckham is to North Carolina to do what they like to do. And he's kind of the last line of defense. If you look at Duke's defensive efficiency numbers over the last month or so, they're not great. I'm sure Gregory can look those up for us and provide those for us, but they haven't played great defense. 192nd. And imagine if they didn't have a human eraser, standing under the basket. Just imagine what that number would be. So I think that's number one. I also think that because of how North Carolina plays, there's not much resistance outside of Mark Williams with Armando Beckham. I think Armando Beckham kind of feasted in that second half on Mark Williams and on Theo John. So if you can get him in foul trouble, you make Theo John and Paolo Banchero the primary defenders on Armando Beckham. And we've seen that Banchero doesn't particularly seem interested in bodying down low on someone like Beckham. So that's why I think Mark Williams is the most important, because against UNC, if they can get him in foul trouble, it opens everything up for Armando Beckham.
Yeah, and I think when you watch Duke play from the ACC tournament to their NCAA tournament, it's easy to see why they're not that good of a defensive team. They're really not talking out there. They get caught ball watching a lot. They lose where their primary person that they're guarding is all the time on back screens and back cuts. And Williams is the guy, like Rel said, their last line of defense, and he leads the conference in blocks per game, but the amount of shots he alters isn't going to show up in the box score, but he is affecting, so many more shots than the ones that he's just getting a hand on. And then I think on the offensive end, what makes him so important for this Duke team is that when you do have somebody like Banchero, or you have somebody like Wendell Moore or Keels driving, once your last line of defense kind of steps up, he's like the perfect lob outlet. And just being that lob outlet, he gets a lot of cheap baskets for this Duke team.